We'll be considering this very question on Laplace transform, meaning our third example on Laplace transform, particularly for the third theorem, which is dividing by t. Before now, we've solved two questions under this theorem. So I would want you to pause this video and try solving this, then compare it to what we'll be doing if you're actually on the same track. If yes, it means you are good to go for the next aspect, which is the differential equation of Laplace transform, right? So I want to believe that you've done that, you've paused the video, and now you want to check if you are correct with what you've done so far. Your first steps remain the same. Generally, we said when it comes to dividing by t theorem, what you just need to do is to check if the limit exists. If yes, if the limit exists, then proceed with all your steps. That is, this very question is valid under dividing by t theorem. Alright, now, checking the limit, check if the limit as t tends to 0 of f of t all divided by t exists. How do you know it exists? The answer of this limit must give a finite number, meaning a finite result. When we talk about finite results, meaning 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the likes, right? Now, identify what is your f of t. Your f of t is exponential 3t minus 1. That is, differentiate your numerator, which is your f of t, with respect to t. Then differentiate the denominator, which is a function of t. You differentiating that, then have f of t over t, meaning the derivative of f of t, all divided by the derivative of t, gives 3 exponential 3t minus 0, all divided by 1. That is, I'm having 3 exponential 3t over 1. I want to believe you know how we got this. What we did here, we only applied the basic idea of differential calculus, right? Moving on, we then have the limit as t tends to 0 of the given function, which is exponential 3t minus 1 over t, which gives 3 exponential 3t over 1. What this means is that anywhere you see 0, substitute. Anywhere you see t, substitute 0. So this gives 3 exponential 3 multiplied by 0 over 1, which is 3 exponential 0 over 1. Therefore, the Laplace transform of f of t over t is equals to 3. That is, given this question, the Laplace transform of f of t over t exists. How do we know it exists? We were able to know that it exists because we got 3 as the answer. In the case whereby we are having undefined answer, it does not exist. So this is your step 1. Step 2 says that, recall, the Laplace transform of f of t over t equals to the integral from sigma equals to x infinity is equals to f of sigma the sigma, where f of sigma is equals to the Laplace transform of f of t, which is equals to the Laplace transform of f of t. So if your f of t, given from the question, if f of t is exponential 3t minus 1, then the Laplace transform of f of t gives 1 over x minus 3 minus 1 over x. Following your standard table of Laplace, the Laplace transform of exponential 3t gives 1 over x minus 3. Then the Laplace transform of 1, meaning a constant number, gives 1 over x, right? Therefore, say this is equation 2, say this is equation 1. Substituting equation 2 back into equation 1, that is, the Laplace transform of f of t, that is, the Laplace transform of f of t over t, which is equals to the Laplace transform of exponential 3t minus 1 over t, is equals to the integral as sigma equals to x infinity. Substitute equation 2, which is your f of sigma. This gives 1 over x minus 3 minus 1 over x with respect to the sigma. All you just need to do here is to perform your basic integration. You perform your basic integration, we are saying we have integral of 1 over x minus 3 and integral of 1 over x. Integral of 1 over x the sigma and integral of 1 over x the sigma. And we said it is not possible to integrate, it is not possible to have an integral function with respect to another variable. Following this, since our limit said sigma is equals to x, mathematically we are saying anywhere we see sigma, substitute x. Anywhere you see x, substitute what? Sigma. I made mention of this previously. So it means that what we have here is more like you saying you have integral of 1 divided by sigma minus 3 the sigma, and integral of 1 over sigma multiplied by sigma. This very guy is called a dummy variable, but in engineering we refer it to as sigma. So that's why I'm using sigma often, right? Moving on, let's integrate this. You integrating this, how do you go about this when it comes to integration? Perform your basic differentiation. Let u equals to sigma minus 3. Then the u over the sigma becomes 1. Therefore, cross multiply. You then have the u equals to what? The sigma. That is, for this integral function, you have 1 multiplied by the sigma is already what? The u. So substitute the u. All divided by sigma minus 3 is what? That's u. So this gives integral of the u over u, which is ln u. So we are saying that we integrated this and we got ln u. What's my u? My u is sigma minus 3. So I'm having ln all into bracket sigma minus 3. Therefore, for this given integral 1 over sigma minus 3 the sigma, we got ln all into bracket sigma minus 3. Though it's not necessary for you to go through this process, but just to understand that this is how we got ln sigma minus 3. Something that I would have written ln sigma minus 3. But then just to show that, okay, this is how we got it. Right? That is why I went through this process. Alright, moving on. We've gotten this very guy. The next one, which is integral of 1 divided by sigma the sigma. This gives ln sigma. So back to this equation. Let's say this is equation 3. Back to equation 3. Equation 3 simply means the integral sigma equals to x to infinity. We've integrated this already. We got ln all into bracket sigma minus 3 minus we've also integrated this. We got ln sigma. Substitute your lower and upper limit. You substituting your lower and upper limit. We have ln all into bracket sigma minus 3 minus ln sigma. Your lower and upper limit becomes infinity, sigma equals to x. But before we substitute our lower and upper limit, there's a way we can write this given expression. We can actually write this given expression in a nicer way, meaning to make our expression easier, to look more interesting, right? So we have ln all into bracket sigma minus 3 all divided by sigma. Following logarithms, introducing your limit, infinity, sigma equals to x. And this gives what? Ln all into bracket. Anywhere you see sigma, substitute what? Substitute infinity. Infinity minus 3 all divided by infinity, right? Minus ln all into bracket s minus 3 all divided by x. And all of this gives you 0. This gives you 0. The whole of this gives you 0. So you are left with 0 minus ln all into bracket x minus 3 over x. X minus 3 over x. You have an invisible one here. There's an invisible one here. Meaning this invisible one, you can take it to the square of this bracket, right? This invisible negative one, you can take it to the power of this bracket following your logarithm law. So you then have, meaning it implies ln all into bracket s minus 3 over x always to the power of negative 1. Always to the power of negative 1. This is your final answer. But let's say this is an OBJ question, just an instance. I know this cannot be an OBJ question because this is more complex than an OBJ question. Just for an instance, say in your OBJ question, you've actually solved to this extent, but you are not seeing this answer. What does it mean? It means that they did something different, meaning they twisted the final answer. From what we got here, we can actually express this. We can actually express this as ln all into bracket x over x minus 3, meaning the inverse of this bracket gives us the answer. So I'm saying that the Laplace transform, so we are saying that the Laplace transform of exponential 3t minus 1 all divided by t, which is equals to ln of x minus 3 over x always power of negative 1, is equals to ln all into bracket x over x minus 3. So this is your final answer. So this is your final answer for that given question. So applying these same steps to any given question under dividing by t theorem, it works anytime, any date. It works anytime. So applying the same concept to your Laplace transform for dividing by t theorem, it works for any given question. So this is how you solve question on Laplace transform regarding dividing by t theorem. Alright. If you find this video helpful, do well to give it a thumbs up. And if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, do well to hit the subscription button right at the corner of the screen, right at the corner of this video. Yes, you have it there. Do well to hit the subscription button. I'll be giving you guys a task. Find the Laplace transform cos 2t all divided by t. Find the Laplace transform of cos 2t all divided by t and drop your answer in the comment section. I would acknowledge if you are correct or not. All right.